This city wasn't destroyed. It wasn't conquered. There was no final battle. Instead, its people made a decision so unusual that historians are still trying to understand it. They didn't flee. They didn't collapse. They simply left. When ancient cities disappear, we usually blame war or disaster. But this place tells a very different story. Homes were left intact. Streets remained untouched. There were no signs of violence. Which raises a disturbing question. Why would an entire population abandon a functioning city on purpose? This city was not temporary. It was carefully planned. Buildings were constructed with durability in mind. Roads followed deliberate patterns. Archaeological evidence suggests long-term thinking, not a society expecting collapse. Trade routes passed nearby. Resources were available. By all measures, this city should have survived. What makes this site unusual is what archaeologists did not find. There are no mass graves, no burned structures, no emergency fortifications. Everyday objects were left behind. Not dropped in a rush, but placed as if people expected to return. This does not look like fear. It looks like planning. Several explanations have been proposed. Environmental changes, economic shifts. Political reorganization. Each theory explains part of the story, but none explain the calm nature of the departure. If resources failed, why leave valuable materials behind? If danger was coming, why wasn't the city destroyed? Some historians believe abandonment itself was a survival strategy. Instead of defending a location at all costs, the population may have chosen mobility. Moving quietly, avoiding conflict. Over time, fewer people remained until the city no longer served a purpose. When the last inhabitants left, there was no one left to record it. We often imagine ancient people as passive victims of fate. But stories like this suggest something else. They made choices. Strategic, calculated decisions, even if those decisions erase them from history. Not every civilization falls. Some simply move on. What makes this story different is that leaving may have been the smartest option available. Ancient cities were not just homes. They were systems. And when a system stopped working, staying inside, it could become more dangerous than leaving. Maintaining large cities required constant coordination. Water systems had to function. Food had to be distributed. Trade routes had to remain open. If even one part failed, the entire structure became fragile. Instead of waiting for collapse, the population may have chosen movement. Smaller communities, new locations, less visible targets. Survival not through defense, but through disappearance. History depends on records, and records depend on people who stay behind. When cities are destroyed, survivors write about it. But when people leave quietly, there is no one left to explain the decision. This is why the end feels so sudden. Not because it happened quickly, but because it was never recorded. This city didn't end in fire or blood. It ended in silence. And perhaps that silence was intentional.